Hi everybody, welcome to the Lexus Virtual Classroom. My name is Melissa O'Connell. I'm your Lexus Technology Specialist, and as promised, we are going to explore the 2021 Lexus IS. We're going to get into every button, bell, and whistle. So if you want to watch the video straight through, go for it. But if you'd like to break it into more manageable chunks, or if you'd like to explore specific features, look down into the description below this video and you'll see an index with timestamps. Just click on a timestamp that has the subject that you'd like to explore first and then work your way through the video that way. Whatever makes it easier for you, we're just glad you're here. So come on in, let's learn together. Parking sensors on the new IS are positioned across the front bumper and nestled into the new grille design. Rear parking sensors are color keyed and located right across the rear of the vehicle. You'll see hub bolts on the new IS instead of the previous lug nut version of connecting the wheel. If your IS has wheel locks, you'll see the wave pattern for the lock. All the tools for changing a tire are located in the trunk. With your Smart Access key, you can lock the vehicle, unlock. First press of the unlock button will unlock the driver's door only. A second press would unlock all doors. Push and hold to pop open the trunk, and push and hold to sound the alarm. If you're still using that alarm button to locate your vehicle in a parking lot, go ahead and change over to the Lexus app. The Lexus app has had a lot of updates recently. In fact, the Lexus Enform remote feature is now inside of the Lexus app. The Lexus Enform App Suite 2.0 also now inside the Lexus app. So it's incredibly convenient to have all of your Lexus services right at your fingertips on your smartphone. If you are getting a new Lexus vehicle, you'll have a trial period for Lexus Enform Remote. And that comes with the ability to locate your vehicle in its last parking place. The IS comes with a complimentary trial period for all Enform services. The fuel door opens with a push. If you push and it doesn't open, it just means that it's locked. With your Smart Access system, put your hand in the driver's door. It's unlocking the driver's door as well as the fuel door. Make sure to note that premium fuel is required on this vehicle. You can open the trunk by pushing and holding the button on the key fob. With the Smart Access key on your person, you can just press the soft rubber touchpad located just below the solid blade tail lamp, and from the trunk opener button just inside the vehicle. Let's take a look inside the trunk. You'll see the mounting bracket for the front license plate. Hold on to that if front plates are required in your area. Depending on the accessories that you have with your IS, they might include a cargo net like this. If you need to access the tools or the spare tire located under the cargo cover, make sure to completely remove the cargo net. Unhook both top straps and then remove the hooks from the D-ring anchor points. There are cutouts in the carpeted cargo mat, but it's still a good idea to remove the cargo pouch rather than try to slide the cargo cover out from underneath it. These hooks are plastic and you wouldn't want to break them. Inside, you'll notice that there's a bit of a lip where the trunk latch is located. They've actually hinged the cargo cover decking so that when you lift up, it sort of accordions, and that helps you to clear past that lip. When you're putting it back, Make sure to tuck that in first and then let everything nest flat. Taking a look at the tools on the left-hand side, you have your wheel lock key, the hub bolt socket, and the guide pin. Again, this is just about changing a tire. If you're not going to change a tire, just skip this bit. You do have a space-saving spare, your bolt wrench, emergency towing eyelet, and a screwdriver. When you're reinstalling the cargo net, make sure to have the hook side closest to the D-ring. Attach both sides at the base and then across the top. Notice that if you don't want to use the cargo net, the base is a zip pouch. Just roll the netting, tuck it inside itself into the pouch, zip it up, and it's neatly stored out of the way. The first aid kit should be located just inside the trunk. The back seats on the IS fold down. They can also be locked into place if you want to secure items in the trunk of your vehicle. If the word reads lock, then the seat won't fold. When it's unlocked, it will. Hi! The IS has smart access sensors on the front two door handles. There are a couple of ways to quickly access the second row, which does not include smart access sensors on the door handles. First option, make sure you have the smart key on your person, then just put your hand in the passenger side front door handle and the entire IS is unlocked. Your next option would be to press the unlock button 2 times on your smart key, unlocking the entire vehicle. By default, the driver's door handle is programmed with smart access to unlock the driver's door only. You can customize that feature in setup to unlock all doors. Another option, just put your hand in the driver's door handle and press unlock inside to open the other doors. So we've already unlocked by putting our hand inside the driver's door handle. Make sure to note that just by touching the indentation on either of the front door handles, you're able to lock the vehicle as long as you have your smart key on your person. When you unlock, you'll hear 2 beeps and have an indication at the back of the side view mirror. When you lock, you'll have a single beep and a single indication. To fold down the back seats, make sure that they are unlocked inside the trunk. Then release the handle at the shoulder point. They're pretty heavy, so just let them fold down nice and easy for full access to the trunk. The seats fold independently of one another and both can be folded down. Outboard seats on the IS have latch or lower anchor points for car seats. You'll notice 3 top tethers. The center seat can accommodate a booster seat or another type of child safety seat that does not require lower anchors. Always make sure to follow the manufacturer installation instructions for your particular car seat. Child safety locks for the rear doors. When the switch is pushed down, this door is locked from the inside. That means that rear cabin passengers are not able to open this rear door to exit the vehicle. It would have to be opened from the outside. If you have independent backseat travelers that don't need a child lock, make sure to leave the switch in the up, unlocked position. The rear dome light comes on when the doors are opened, and you have individual lighting for rear cabin passengers at the touch of a button. Fold down the rear center armrest, push to release for cup holders, and simply click to snap it back into place. One of the first steps is to make your seat adjustments. Keep in mind that the lumbar support is outside of this recessed area. That's just an indication that the lumbar support is operated independently from driver position memory if your vehicle is equipped with driver position memory. So the other seat adjustment items can be memorized as long as your vehicle is equipped with driver position memory. Otherwise, just make the adjustments that you need when you hop in the vehicle. If you have a manually adjusted steering wheel, you'll find the release just below the center. You can pull toward you, push away, lift up, or down. When you have it where you'd like to save it, just lift up and push firmly on the lock. For power adjusted steering wheels, use the toggle on the left-hand side of the steering column. It operates like a joystick, moving up, down, toward you, and away. Your next step will be to adjust the mirror position just inside the driver's door handle. L for left, R for right, and use the touchpad. Auto-dimming side mirrors are now standard equipment in the United States. Once you've set your seat, steering wheel, and side mirror positions, if you have driver position memory on your IS, go ahead, press the button that says Set, and then the button of your choosing for your driver position, either 1, 2, or 3. You'll hear a beep, and you'll know that your positions have been saved. To recall your position, simply press your button number. Unlock the doors, lock the windows so that your passengers can't operate the windows, but you still can. So if you've had your windows tinted when you pick up your vehicle, make sure to lock them out. It will keep your passengers from operating them, but not you. So don't forget to leave those windows closed until your window tint has cured. Taking a look at the buttons on the left-hand side of the dash, we have our odometer trip meter button. Just push and release to cycle through odometer, trip A, trip B. An indication for when your next oil change will be, that's that wrench icon. It doesn't mean your next service necessarily, because you will service every 5,000 miles, but you only need to do an oil change every 10,000 miles. And a blank screen if that's your preference. When you're on trip A or B, push and hold the button to zero out. Adjust the brightness or dimness of the gauge lights. Push the up arrow to make it more bright, and the down arrow to make it more dim. Automatic high beams are standard equipment. Just push the button in to engage your automatic high beams. And as long as your low beam headlights are in auto, your entire headlamp system will turn on and off and adjust from high to low automatically. If you have blank buttons here, don't worry. That just means that there are a lot of different packages that are available for the IS. It just means that you don't have a feature for that button. For example, on this vehicle, I don't have features for these buttons. So let's move on. Next, we have ASC, Active Sound Control. This allows you to adjust or even turn off the engine sound that is piped into the vehicle to enhance that sporty ride and help you hear that engine sound on the IS 350. Power trunk release button and manual hood release. Electronic automatic parking brake or emergency brake located on the dash to the right of the steering wheel. Push down to engage the automatic feature that allows the lock to activate whenever you put the vehicle in park. Lift up and it tells you that you need to press the brake, apply the foot brake, and lift up to disengage the auto feature. the shift interlock feature. That just means when you go into park or come out of park, that it's no longer linked. Most people prefer to leave it in auto. Push down on the button, hold it down until you see that the interlock function has been activated. Headlamps are adjusted on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. You'll see the indicator dash. You can turn this end to have them in automatic. Make sure that the indicator is pointing to the word auto. If you twist down to the bottom, you have DRL off. That's daytime running lights. Actually, everything is off. Come back up to auto, daytime running lights only, and low beams. If you've manually turned the low beams on, when you turn off and exit the vehicle, make sure to come back to auto or off so that your headlights are turned off when you exit the vehicle. Pushing forward for high beams. The IS has a customizable lane change feature. Just give a soft push down or up, and you'll see the indication on your dash, and drivers on the road near you will see the indication on your headlamps, tail lamps, and the backs of your side mirrors. Now let's take a look at all the features and buttons on the steering wheel. We'll start on the left-hand side. Plus and minus for volume control for audio and phone. Up and down arrows will change you through your radio presets. In just a little while, when we go over the sound system, I'll show you how to save your radio presets so that you can use these buttons. The mode button will change you from audio sources, toggling you through things like AM, FM, satellite, Bluetooth audio, you name it. Push and release, not only will you jump modes or sound sources, but you'll see the screen temporarily change on your information display. Really cool detail. Other cool things to know about with the mode button: if you push and hold the mode button, it will pause or mute your audio. You'll hear a beep. This is great if you are in the middle of a conversation or you're going through a drive-through and you just don't want to keep adjusting your volume. Just push and hold to pause or mute your audio. So as you click the mode button and you move through your sound sources, you'll get some information right on your display, and then it'll just slide out of view. Answer a call, hang up, or ignore a call. When you choose to decline a call with this button, it will send it to voicemail. If you'd like to learn more about using the phone in your Lexus, check out the video above. Voice command. Push and release for onboard voice commands, and we'll practice with those in a little while. Push and hold to use Siri for Apple CarPlay or the Google Assistant for Android Auto. We'll practice with Siri and Apple CarPlay as well. When you first press and release the voice command button for onboard voice commands, you're going to hear something like this.
Before you start, consider viewing the available video tutorials or voice training functionality. Select the Do Not Tell Me Again option if you do not want this reminder again, or just push the talk button to continue. The tutorials and training will always be available from the voice settings menu.
So when you press Don't Tell Me Again, you'll get the blue highlight on the left, but you also have to click OK to completely clear the message. And then you can give your command. You'll see the microphone icon, the wave listening pattern, and hear the beep. Push and hold to cancel. To learn more about voice commands, make sure to check out this video here. Let's take a look at all of the buttons and features on the right side of the steering wheel. Rain-sensing windshield wipers are now standard equipment in the United States on all IS vehicles. You'll see the word auto and just push a button on the end of the stalk. You'll see a green light come on and have a swipe of the wipers as an indication that they're engaged. Once you've turned the automatic wipers on, you can adjust the sensitivity on the dial. At the bottom, they are the least sensitive. That means if you dial all the way to the bottom, it's going to take a lot more water to get them going or get them going more quickly. So just dial up until you're at the sensitivity level that you prefer. If you'd like to take over and manually control your wipers, just click down. You'll see the auto feature turn off and you'll now have a steady low swipe. Click down again for a steady fast swipe. If you turn auto back on during manual operation, the wipers will respond whether or not it's raining. If you've manually turned them on and you don't want to turn auto on to stop them, just click up until they stop. Even in auto mode, one push up for a swipe of the wipers just to clear your windshield will not disengage auto mode. It's only pulling down to manually take over the wiper function. Auto on, push up for one swipe of clean, and auto stays on. To turn auto off, push the button on the end or take over control. The panel of arrows and the top two buttons here operate your multi-information display that appears on your instrument panel on the dash. You can move left or right and scroll through all of the different options that are available. Anytime you see up or down arrows on the multi-information display, it means you can use the up or down arrows on the steering wheel. And that will allow you to move through the additional content in that particular menu. The main menu items that have a slide bar or multiple pages are going to be settings, information, and then you also have multiple screens on the audio menu. Let's go through each menu item. If you'd like to jump ahead, just use the timestamped index in the description of the video below. The information screen has Drive Info 1 and Drive Info 2. These information screens are customizable. Coming down again, we have an eco indicator, a G-force monitor, gear position, tire pressure monitor, and a blank screen if that's your preference. Keep in mind that some of these items, specifically the G-force monitor, will not be on all IS vehicles. It is an optional feature, so your screen might look a little bit different. Moving to the right, we have a compass. To the right again, our audio screen. To the right again for driving support screens. Right now we're looking at the lane trace assist monitor. We'll take a deeper look at that in just a moment. Messages pertaining to service or low fuel messages, things like that will pop up and then be held here. And settings. To select an item, simply push the dot in the middle of all of the arrows. And you'll either see the information change or you'll see that item open. So with lane centering, we're turning that feature off or on. When you're using lane trace assist and you have your dynamic radar cruise control turned on, the vehicle will work a little bit harder to keep you in the center of the lane. You have two types of alerts for your lane trace assist. You can have an audible alert or the vibration of the steering wheel. Arrowing down, you can adjust the sensitivity from high or standard. Arrowing down, a new feature that's been introduced on the 2021 IS is called curve speed reduction. You can turn this off, have it customized to low or high. The new curb speed reduction feature requires dynamic radar cruise control to be turned on and the vehicle-to-vehicle following distance active, just to give you a little bit more control of the road on a curve. Pre-collision system. You can turn this off. If you turn it off, you will get a warning message that it has been turned off. When you turn the car off and back on, it's going to automatically default to on. The pre-collision system is designed to mitigate an accident. So it doesn't mean that it has total accident avoidance. There aren't systems available that can do that yet. We haven't arrived at the Jetsons level of accident avoidance yet. But what it does is it looks for objects ahead of the vehicle, and it can give a warning to the driver to take evasive action. In certain cases, it can apply braking pressure. If a collision is imminent, it can pre-tension the seat belts, prime the airbags, apply more braking pressure than you would normally be able to do. So there's a lot of steps that the system will engage as needed if a collision is unavoidable. So the concept is to avoid the collision if possible, or help reduce the impact if a collision is unavoidable. The Lexus Safety System Plus 2.5 that's been introduced on this new IS adds intersection turning assist and emergency steering assist to the existing pre-collision system capabilities. Keep in mind that there are a lot of detailed parameters about when these new systems engage, so make sure to be aware of the information that's located in your owner's manual about specifics like range of speed. For example, operating speeds for intersection turning assist. The pre-collision warning will engage approximately 7 to 15 miles per hour. Pre-collision braking with an oncoming vehicle from the opposite lane is approximately 10 to 15 miles per hour. Pre-collision braking with a pedestrian coming in the opposite direction is approximately 7 to 15 miles per hour. Some other things to consider: the turn signal must be activated. Intersection turning assist at certain speeds is designed to activate with a left-hand turn and an oncoming vehicle is detected, or when turning left or right and a pedestrian traveling in the opposite direction is detected. Emergency steering assist can engage between speeds of approximately 25 to 50 miles per hour, but it will not operate if the turn signal has been activated. The concept here is to try to keep you in your lane. So as the driver, if you start to make an evasive steering maneuver and the vehicle detects that you're in an emergency situation, it's going to try to provide additional steering torque just to give you better stability, but to also keep you within the lane markers. Coming down to the next page, you can adjust the sensitivity of your pre-collision system. Just push the dot in between all of the arrows to toggle through the most sensitive, so you'll get an alert sooner, mid-range, and close range. Once you have the selection where you want it, just arrow up or down to move off of that item. Blind spot monitor. Toggling to turn that feature off or on. Your blind spot monitor will light up solid in your side mirror when a vehicle is detected in the blind spot on either side of your IS. It's going to flash if you have your blinker on and a vehicle is detected in your blind spot, just giving you additional warning not to change lanes at that time. Notice on your dashboard that you don't have a light indicating that the blind spot monitor is turned on. Rather, you now have a light indicating that the system is turned off. This is a change that Lexus has made in response to guests saying that they aren't sure if something is off or on, just to try to better get your attention that if you've turned something off, it's going to tell you, hey, this feature is off, rather than it just not appearing. So now, if you don't see the blind spot indicator off icon on your dash, you can always go in and double check in your multi-information display and you will see BSM blind spot monitor on. Coming down to PKSA. This stands for Parking Support Alert, things that beep at you when you are in parking situations. So Park Assist, or your intuitive parking sensors. Those are the sensors that we saw on the front and rear bumpers. RCTA, Rear Cross Traffic Alert. If you are backing up and someone is crossing at the rear of your vehicle, you will be alerted. This is another item that will now show you if it has been turned off, RCTA off. This is a great one to keep on. And then your alert level. 1, 2, 3. Then to get out of this menu item, rather than arrowing down, which just loops us back to the top of the PKSA menu, that's when we want to use the U-turn or go back button. We'll just click on that and it moves us out to the previous screen. Coming down to PKSB, Parking Support Brake. So PKSA, those are our alerts, things that are beeping at us saying, hey, you need to stop. If you're not listening to those alerts and your park assist is beeping or your rear cross traffic alert is beeping, now you're going to have automatic braking engage, PKSB, auto braking, off or on. This is just additional support at low speeds. Make sure to check your owner's manual for details about the speed parameters for these features so that you can be aware. Arrowing down, we can change our unit of measure from miles to kilometers. Arrowing down to vehicle settings, push the dot to open. This is our lane trace assist menu. Push the dot to open. You can turn your sway warning off or on, and you can adjust the sensitivity from low, high, or standard. Standard is the default. Push that U-turn arrow to go back. We can make additional blind spot monitor customizations here. Push the dot to open. Adjust the brightness, just toggling from dim or bright. Here's how that looks in the mirror. Toggling down to adjust the sensitivity. You have 4 different sensitivity levels. Pushing the go back arrow. This symbol represents something called road sign assist. That symbolizes the camera that's mounted behind the rear view mirror, looking forward for certain road signs. You can have this feature off or on. You can have it include speed limit information or not. So you could choose no notification, only visual, visual and audible. Most people prefer an excess speed notification to only be visual. Pushing go back. You can customize the notification level for excess speed. Do you want to be notified when you're 1 mile, 3 miles, or 5 miles over the speed limit? Pushing go back. Other signs. This would be things like stop signs, yield signs, or right-of-way signs. Do you want no notification, only visual, or visual and audible? Arrowing back. Keep in mind with road sign assist that not all signs appear in the display and not all signs are in range of the camera system. So if you are in a particular area and the speed limit signs or the stop signs aren't showing up, it just means that for whatever reason, they're out of range for the camera system. But as long as you have the feature turned on, any sign that's within range that does register with the feature will appear. Pushing go back, coming down to scheduled maintenance. This allows you to reset the data after maintenance. Normally your technician would do that for you at the dealership. Notice that we have scheduled maintenance and oil maintenance. Remember we discussed the fact that you will service every 5,000 miles, but you will do an oil change every 10. So you have a separate calculation and you can do a separate reset to manage your data and your reminders. Pushing our go back button, coming down to meter settings. You can customize the language of your display, English, French, or Spanish. Additional units of measurement customization. Pushing go back. And here are the two drive information screens that can be customized. Drive Info 1, for example, a lot of people prefer to have their cruising range or how many miles they have left on their current tank of fuel. Highlight the item that you would like to remove, push the dot to select, and then scroll through all of the options for information that can be displayed in that spot. So let's choose range. Make sure that the item you want is highlighted and push the dot to select it. Now our Drive Info 1 screen will display the current fuel economy in the bar type style and the range. And now to see our customization, press the Go Back button to leave the Drive Info customization screen. Push the Go Back button again to leave the meter settings menu, and now arrow to the right to shortcut to the information screen. And you'll see your customized Drive Info 1 screen. You can arrow to the left, push the dot to open meter settings, and then come down and you could customize Drive Info 2. You'll see the clock. This is for the digital clock, and you can choose either a 12-hour or 24-hour clock. That's what displays at the top of your dash. Arrowing down, you can customize the items that pop up on the display on your screen. Push the dot to open. TBT navigation, that's turn by turn navigation. You can choose to have that on or off. Telephone call information, on or off. Audio operation, on or off. Volume operation, and again, that would just be reflecting changes in volume, and then it pops up and it fades out. Brightness, we saw that when we were adjusting the brightness of our display with our up and down arrow buttons on the left-hand side of the dash. Pushing go back, you can change color themes from blue to gold, whatever you like better. I kind of like that blue color. Rev indicator, you can turn that off or on. When it's on, you can customize the rev setting. So just use your up or down arrows to make whatever change you would like. Once you have it set, push the Go Back button and it will save it automatically. Go back again and come down to Rev Peak. This item can be turned off or on. Your eco indicator, this symbol will pop up and it's just kind of like a great job, you're driving in a fuel efficient way. That can be left on or turned off. Arrowing down, and our last item is default settings. If you select that, you have an opportunity to restore factory default settings if you've made a lot of changes, or if you are buying a vehicle that's new to you, you can go in and start it all over. Push the down arrow one more time, just so that you circle back to the top of your meter settings list. Pushing go back, arrowing down again, and now we're back at the top of our settings menu. Arrow to the right to shortcut back to your main information screen. And that is our multi-information display. If you're in an F-Sport model and you hop in and you don't see that large multi-information display, that's because you have a ridiculously cool feature that was carried over from our LFA supercar. That's right, you have a sliding center bezel. So cool. Notice when the bezel is closed, if I arrow down, I can see a lot of the information from the multi-information display. What you can't do is arrow to the left or right. You'll see that the screen does not change. You do need to open your multi-information display by sliding the bezel to the side. Then you can arrow to the left or right. Our last two buttons on the right side of the steering wheel, your lane trace assist button is here. Push and release to turn the feature on. Push and release again to turn on or off lane centering. Push and hold to turn off the feature. When the feature is turned on, you'll see the lane trace assist icon on the bottom left corner. If you have a sliding bezel, it's going to be just to the left of temperature gauge and fuel information when the bezel is open. Lane centering is linked to your dynamic radar cruise control. When you're not using your radar cruise control, you'll have a lane departure alert and steering assist, which is like getting a nudge in the right direction. When you have your radar cruise control active and engaged, lane centering can be turned on. To have the most engaging view of this feature, open your multi-information display and arrow left or right until you're on the driving assist screen. Or if you're in an F-Sport and your bezel is centered, arrow down until you see the lane monitoring screen. As you're driving, when the system recognizes the lanes on the road, you'll see the lane markers appear solid. When you're using radar cruise control, not only can the vehicle perform lane centering, it can also trace off of the vehicle in front of it. This is great if you're driving in an area where the lane markers are not as clear, or maybe you're in heavier traffic. The last button on the right side of the steering wheel is for following distance with radar cruise control. Your cruise control operation is here. Just follow the arrows. Push the button on the end to turn it on or off. Push down to set or decrease speed. Push up to resume or increase speed. You can pull toward you to cancel or tap on the brake. Radar cruise control will have an icon with a vehicle and a marker for speed. That's a reminder that you're setting your following distance as well as your speed. When you're using radar cruise control, you set your following distance just by pushing the button on the steering wheel to toggle you through long range, mid-range, close range. When radar cruise control is engaged, radar ready will appear on your display. Notice that you have the option of traditional cruise, which would not include following distance. You activate traditional cruise by pushing and holding, and you'll see the cruise control icon on the dash change from radar to speed only. Push and release to turn the system off. If your bezel is closed and you'd like to see your driving support screen, all you have to do is arrow up or down until it's displayed. Moving up, below the rear view mirror, if you have HomeLink for garage and gate operation, you'll see 3 buttons for 3 programmable items. You'll also see the on-off button for your auto-dimming or electrochromic mirror. If you do turn the auto-dimming mirror off, it's going to turn itself back on when you turn your vehicle off and back on. Continuing up, for dome light controls, your dome lights are touch activated. You've also got the button for operating the door mode for the dome lights. You want to make sure this button is pushed in flush. If it's protruding, then the dome lights will not turn on when the doors are open. Moonroof controls, if your IS is equipped with a moonroof. When you open the moonroof, the open button will open not only the shade but the glass. You can push the shade back a little bit more if you'd like. When you push the forward portion of the button to close, it only closes the glass. Then you can manually close the shade if you like. To tilt the back of the glass for fresh air, push up to open, down to close. And our Lexus Enform Safety Connect or SOS button. Behind this door is your SOS button for Safety Connect. All Lexus vehicles come with a trial period for all Lexus Enform connected technologies that are compatible for that vehicle, including Safety Connect. Just remember, it is behind a door, so if you push without opening the door, you're not going to be able to reach that emergency operator. When your headlamps come on, you'll have illumination for these buttons as well. Coming down our center console, all the way to the armrest. Inside the armrest, you'll see 2 USB ports for charging, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto operation, auxiliary port, and a 12-volt accessory charger. Just above your cup holders is your drive mode selector. The drive mode selector impacts your throttle response. Turn to the left for Eco, and you'll see the Eco theme light on your instrument cluster. Eco will help you to drive in a more fuel-efficient way. Turn to the right for Sport. You'll have the Sport indication display on the screen and the Sport theme light on your instrument cluster. Sport has a more direct throttle impact, giving you a much more aggressive, sporty drive style. If you've activated Sport mode, when you turn the vehicle off and back on, it will come back on in the normal mode setting. Push down for normal, and that will clear. Eco, normal, Sport. Snow mode provides better traction when driving on snowy, slippery roads. When you turn the vehicle off, snow mode will also turn off. So if you need it for your next drive cycle, make sure to press the button again. Traction control off. This allows the wheels to spin more, and when you push the button, you'll have a very clear message on your display that traction control is off. Push it again to clear the message and turn traction control back on. Brake hold. This button allows you to hold the foot brake when you're in drive. This is not your emergency parking brake. This is something that's great to use if maybe you're stuck at a train. Apply the brake, shift into gear, push brake hold. If you don't have your seatbelt on, it's going to tell you. Seatbelts are required. On the right side of the dash, you'll see the brake hold icon in green and the word hold in gold. Hold in gold. That means you're ready to release the foot brake and the vehicle will hold it for you. When you're ready to go, just press the accelerator. When you come to a complete stop again, brake hold will re-engage. When you see hold in gold, you can release your foot from the brake. To turn off the feature, return to park and push the button. If you push the button while it's actively holding, you'll get this message telling you to press the brake and push brake hold to deactivate. When you no longer see the icon on the right-hand side, you'll know the feature's turned off. To use the paddle shifters or sequential or manual mode, come to drive, push the gear shift to the left. You'll see the light by M for manual, and then you can shift up or down right on the gearbox or with the paddle shifters. Upshift on the right, downshift on the left. Where you see the indication, the minus and the plus, the top portion of the paddles remain stationary. The adjustment happens, or the click, on the side. That allows you to keep your hands at 3 and 9 and easily reach the paddles and the controls on the steering wheel. We're going to be working with the touchpad, the map, menu, and go back button in conjunction with our audio hard button shortcuts, our climate control hard button shortcuts, and our new touchscreen system. You'll have a touchscreen on the IS, whether you have the optional 10.3-inch navigation screen or the standard 8-inch multimedia display. Let's start with our audio system. Power and volume, radio tuner dial if you aren't using voice command to tune to a station or channel, just turn your tuner dial. Eject, radio screen shortcut, media screen shortcut, seek available stations, or move track to track on a CD or with streaming Bluetooth audio. Pause and play. Remember how we were able to pause and mute with the mode button? You can also use the pause and play hard button shortcut. This is great for front seat passengers. This is not just for the CD player. Who knew? How cool is that? Your CD player, which is a single disc CD player. You can launch the audio system by pushing the power button or shortcutting to AM, FM, or satellite from the radio button or other audio sources with the media button. You can also push menu, use the touchpad or the touch screen to select audio. If you're using the touchpad, you also have secondary menu items that you can shortcut to right on screen. My personal favorite way to operate the audio system is actually by voice command. Push and release your voice command button, wait for the beep, tune to 99.1.
99.1 FM.
Tune to channel 33.
Channel 33.
If you're doing voice command for satellite radio, you can even say the name of the channel. Tune to the bridge.
The bridge.
On your main screen, on the top left, you'll see source for all of your audio sources. If you have in a disc or you've plugged in an iPod or USB flash drive or even an MP3 player using the auxiliary port, those items will light up so that they are clickable. Coming down to presets to see our preset list. When you've selected a station or channel and you have it playing, highlight the preset spot, push and hold, and then it'll be saved. Once you have multiple presets saved, you can use those up and down arrows on the left side of the steering wheel to toggle through your list. Radio replay is kind of like DVR for your audio system. If you can pause, rewind, fast forward, and go live for HD stations on AM and FM, the system will cache up to 20 minutes. If you're using radio replay on a satellite channel, the system can cache up to 1 hour of content. You're able to view a channel list by genre on AM, FM, and satellite. Coming to options, you have additional setting items specific to audio. You can turn off the auto pause feature that is connected to radio replay. Sirius XM Tune Start, this can be turned on or off. This allows satellite radio to start at the beginning of a song or program whenever possible. Turning on or off the HD signal for AM and FM. Turning on or off the scan feature. Coming to the left for sound settings. When you adjust the treble, mid-range, and bass, make sure to note that you're adjusting for that particular source. So if you're listening to satellite radio and you make your adjustments and then you change to AM, FM, Bluetooth, you name it, make sure to make the adjustments there as well. If you listen to different content on different sources, you want to customize it for that particular type of content so you get the best sound quality possible. You can adjust your fader and balance. Just click to open and make the changes that you prefer. Pushing the go back button, you can turn on or off the automatic sound levelizer that is attached to the speed of the vehicle. It can make very minute adjustments for you. It's really not very intrusive. If it doesn't bother you, then I would say leave it on. You can also turn on or off surround sound. Coming back to our main menu, now let's move up the dash. Hazard lights, your indicator for rear cabin passenger seatbelt status. So if you open a back door on your IS, this will give you an indication for rear cabin passengers when they attach their seatbelt, their light will clear. If you don't have a front seat passenger, the front passenger airbag will be off. It will have an on indication with a front seat passenger. Now let's take a look at our climate control system. Driver temperature selection, passenger temperature selection. These have been updated. They have a nice soft raised feel. You can also just tap on the up or down arrows, but they're really easy to just slide your finger up or down and set the temperature where you want it. Auto for the fan, off for the fan, less fan, or more fan. Make sure to note that if you turn the fan to auto, you can't push the button again to turn it off. You either need to turn the entire system off or just take over the fan control. Airflow mode, just push and release to toggle you through all of the different modes. Face only, face and feet, just feet, feet and defrost. Front defrost, rear defrost, and side mirror defrost. This is great if you have to park outside and you have condensation on your side mirrors in the morning. Very helpful. Recirculating air, outside air. You can turn your AC compressor on or off. Dual mode. Anytime a passenger makes a temperature adjustment, dual mode is automatically engaged. That gives the ability to have two separate temperatures without overriding the driver's temperature. If you'd like to go to one temperature, just turn dual off and the temperatures will sync. The hard button shortcuts for seat climate and steering wheel climate are tucked just behind the gear shift on the center console. Heated and ventilated seats. Just push. You have 3 levels of heat and fan, high, medium, and low. The steering wheel heater is either on or off. Passenger side as well, heat and fan. Coming back to our main menu and using either the touchpad or the touchscreen, you can select climate. With the touchpad, you can slide up and open additional items, or just click on climate. You'll see the on-screen controls that are similar to the hard button shortcut controls that we were looking at before. All of these items can be adjusted just by touching right on the up or down arrows on the screen. Notice these items are not clickable. That's where our additional settings menu button comes into play. Locate the double chevron setting menu button just below your touchpad. Give it a push, and now you can use your touchpad or just click with the touchscreen. Pushing go back to clear. Coming to options on the left-hand side, you'll see some items that we've seen before. Dual AC compressor, but you have two additional items. Eco heat and cool that can be turned on or off. That will allow the air conditioning compressor to cycle off sooner once your selected temperature has been achieved. This helps with fuel economy. The other item is the pollen filter. When you select to turn the pollen filter on, it closes off outside air and circulates the cabin air through this stronger filter to clean the cabin air. It will turn itself off automatically, or you can click to turn it off. Pushing the go back button. One other item that I'd like you to know about for climate control is that you can voice command your temperature selection. You can even do this from any screen. 72 degrees.
Changing to 72 degrees.
Increase fan speed to 2.
Changing fan speed to 2.
How about this? I'm too cold.
Setting to 76 degrees.
It's too hot in here.
Setting to 72 degrees.
So you can say things like that to increase or decrease your temperature by 4 degrees. Fortunately, the system won't find this annoying. Back to our main menu. We've covered audio and climate. Let's go through the other items, starting with destination, which is our navigation system. Make sure to note that you can select destination. You can also come up and shortcut to search, go home, recents, favorites, and contacts with addresses in a compatible, actively linked Bluetooth smartphone. Or pushing the map button. From the map screen, just push the search icon that looks like a magnifying glass. You have your go home shortcut at the top, search to search by address or point of interest, destination assist, which is a live operator. Part of your Lexus Enform trial is a complimentary subscription to Destination Assist. Check with your local Lexus dealer to confirm the terms of the trial periods for Lexus Enform in your area. Favorites, recents, emergency facilities like hospitals, police stations, dealerships, etc. Coming down, another way to come to address, point of interest, and contact searches from a compatible phone. So this is very simple. You can touch screen operate it or touchpad, but of course, you know my favorite, voice command. So without clicking on anything on the screen, just push and release that voice command button and give your command. And say things like, go home. When you're programming a go home shortcut, make sure to program something close to your home rather than your exact address, just for security purposes. Get directions to Target in the Woodlands, Texas.
Select the one you want.
Number 1.
To navigate to this point of interest, say go there.
Go.
Starting guidance for a new route.
You can select OK or start to drive. Notice the cloud icon. That means your vehicle has dynamic navigation. So it has a cloud-based overlay for optimization of routes, updating points of interest, traffic information to help make the system be as up-to-date as possible. You have a complimentary trial period for this feature as well. Once you have a route programmed in, notice that you can select to mute the navigation audio right on your screen. If you no longer need navigation, you can cancel route.
Route canceled.
Nice and easy with voice command. If you have multiple destinations, get directions to Starbucks. Add as next.
Adding as next destination.
So notice we could add as next, add as final, or go directly, and that would have deleted our previous destination. But now we have 2 points that are along our route. If we decided that we wanted to eliminate one, when you have multiple destinations programmed in, delete destination.
Which destination do you want to remove?
Number 1.
Remove destination number 1 from your route.
Yes.
Number 1 removed from route. Please proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
You can also end your route by pushing the X. If you're using voice command to navigate to an address, make sure to speak the entire address without the zip code. Get directions to 3600 Grogan's Mill, The Woodlands, Texas. Our other soft buttons on screen, by clicking on the compass, you're able to shift through different views for your map. 3D, north up. That means that north is going to remain at the top of the map. When you turn, the map won't turn with you. The icon that represents the car would turn. Direction up means that the direction that you're traveling will always be up at the top of the screen. The point of the triangle representing the vehicle will always be moving up the map. Our search icon and our map options icon. You can select to have point of interest icons visible on screen, traffic information like the green, yellow, and red for traffic flow, route trace, which would leave little red dots on your screen as you drive, kind of like leaving little breadcrumbs for your trail. If you are in an area that isn't mapped well, this can be helpful. You can turn it on so that you have a path in and then you can follow that path out. Then you can turn the feature off. Map data will give you the information about the map version running on your vehicle. Pushing go back again. You can zoom in and out with the plus and minus on the screen, or zoom in and out with a pinch, pull motion on either the touchpad or the touchscreen. Looking on the right side of the screen, you may have noticed that these icons remain. No matter what you see on the screen, you always have these visible. That's because these items open your small right side split screen in this large 10.3-inch screen format. You can open an additional map that can also be customized. You can even click on the arrows to change the view to a compass. You can select the audio split screen, fuel economy or trip information screen, climate screen, or use the full screen soft button command on the bottom right corner. A popular split screen view is to have the map on the left and your audio on the right. You can quickly reverse this by pushing your radio button and selecting the map icon for the map view on the right-hand side. If you wanted to come back to full screen audio, push the full screen button on the bottom right corner. Coming back to our main menu, we've covered destination and audio. Let's talk about how to pair a phone. If you've never paired a phone to the vehicle, when you click on phone, you'll be prompted and asked if you'd like to pair a device. Click yes, and then head to settings on your compatible phone. Select Bluetooth, and then look for the vehicle's device name to pop up under Other Devices. Click right on the words for the vehicle's device, and then click Pair. Make sure to allow so that your contacts and call history can transfer to the vehicle. You'll have a confirmation that the vehicle is connected. If you see a prompt that the Lexus Enform app suite needs to be updated, go ahead and select Now so that the installation can complete. Even if you don't choose to use the Enform app suite through the Lexus app, you're going to want to do these updates whenever they pop up, because that's also how service-related messages can come through on your main screen. Click Install and Continue. As you can see, it's a very quick process. And OK, once it's complete. We'll come back to the Enform app suite details shortly. For now, press Menu and come back to Phone. Now that we have a phone paired to the system, you'll see shortcuts for call history, favorites, contacts, and the keypad. If we click on Phone, you'll see your phone menu items on the left-hand side. Messages is at the bottom left corner. For messages to come through, you need to give permission on your phone. Android phones will prompt you during the setup process. iPhones need to be given permission in Settings. Make sure you have the Bluetooth menu opened in your iPhone settings. Locate the vehicle's connection for Bluetooth and click the Information menu. At the top, Show Notifications needs to be turned on, and now you have permission for texting to come through the system in the vehicle. Keep in mind, this is about the Bluetooth connection for your phone. Making calls by voice command is very easy. You can actually do this from any screen. Push and release the voice command button, wait for the beep, and then match the name of the contact just like you have them in your contact list. Call Ava.
Calling.
Coming back to our main menu, and moving to apps. Keep in mind that infotainment and communications both will be available if you've paired your compatible phone through Bluetooth. The Lexus Enform App Suite 2.0 content is now located inside the Lexus app. You can link your Amazon Alexa account and use Lexus plus Alexa. You can view notifications from Lexus about the vehicle, and you can also get information about setting up the Wi-Fi hotspot available on your Lexus. This is also where you can see the IMEI number for your Wi-Fi hotspot device on your vehicle. To manage your Enform App Suite 2.0 information, open your Lexus app and scroll down to connect your accounts. Coming back to our main menu, when you see the word projection, that means your vehicle has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on board. Just connect your device through the USB port and follow the on-screen and on-phone prompts for setup. For an Apple CarPlay tutorial, check out the video above. Coming back to our main menu, select Info. You have trip information, traffic information, and weather information if you have a navigation-equipped vehicle. The data comes from the Weather channel. It shows the forecast for where the vehicle is located. You can come to a 3-day forecast and just click on that particular day for more information. The 6 and 12-hour breakdown of the forecast in your area, locations that you have recently checked, national or local cities, and a Doppler weather map. Check that out. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of rain coming in our area today. Pushing go back again, and coming down to vehicle alert history. You'll get these vehicle alerts on your smartphone when you're using the Lexus app. These will include things like service notifications. Coming down to the or electronic owner's manual, you have an owner's manual right on board the vehicle. So cool. You can go through a table of contents, a keyword search, and even a visual search. And there are even more videos right at your fingertips. So these are visual only, very cool information to have on board. Pushing go back again, go back again. You can just keep pushing go back until you can't go back anymore. And you'll end up on the map or your home screen, depending on the setup of your vehicle. Or just push the menu button. And let's look at our last item, setup. If you slide up to display, you can choose to turn your entire screen off. You can adjust the contrast and brightness for the general view or the backup camera view. Pressing our menu button and clicking to open the setup menu. It's going to default to the general settings menu with clock right at the top. You can have auto adjust turned on for your time zone, daylight saving time, and auto adjust by GPS. If auto adjust by GPS is on, but daylight saving time has been turned off or on and out of auto mode, it will not automatically adjust for daylight saving time. You have to have the auto adjust for daylight saving time selected because not all states participate in daylight saving time. So even though your vehicle might know what time zone you're in, it won't adjust automatically for daylight saving time unless you tell it to. Language again, English, Spanish, or French. Another way to access the display. Projection settings. This is our first step in setting up Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Make sure to select the item that you want to use and turn it on. Notice that it's telling you that Bluetooth will not be active when you're using this feature. Pushing go back. There's that theme setting again that we saw in the multi-information display. Instead of pushing the go back button, which will take us out of this menu, just start scrolling down. Unit of temperature. This will only impact the forecast information on the weather display. It will not change the unit of temperature on the readout on your dash. That is set by the factory and can't be adjusted in the vehicle. So notice if I select Celsius, it's not going to change the temperature readout on my display. I wish that it would, but it doesn't. Units of measurement, auto change to screen. When auto change to screen is turned on, if you were on the map or a main menu screen and you decided to turn your sound system on, but after a few moments of not making any changes to your audio system, your screen will jump back to the map. Check it out. If you like that, awesome. Leave auto change to screen turned on. If you don't like that and you're somebody who would prefer to have your audio screen on all the time, come back to Menu, General Settings, Auto Change to Screen, and turn it off. Then, if you've selected to have your audio screen on, it will stay there until you're ready to have something else on the screen. Coming back to Menu, Setup, in our General Settings, scrolling down, you can turn on and off the selection sound, the pointer sound, the sound it makes when you accidentally click on something that's not clickable, adjust the pointer sound volume, feedback force. This is something you might want to consider changing if you're having trouble using the touchpad. You may even want to turn it completely off. Feedback force is that popping sensation that you feel when you move around on the touchpad and the highlighter is on a clickable surface. You can also change the cursor speed. If you're having trouble with the touchpad, start with the cursor speed on slow. If you're not having any trouble with the normal setting, or you feel like you'd like it to move faster, come on up to normal or fast. Multi-touch command can be turned on or off. That's the double tap command. Swiping down. You can change your keyboard layout, delete keyboard history, turn on or off the memorized keyboard history. That's where it's learning based on your input. Delete search history and delete personal data. These are items that are good to do if you're buying a new-to-you pre-owned vehicle. Software updates, including software update settings and Grace Note database updates, are done at your local Lexus dealer. Software information is located here. Pushing go back and coming to our next item, Bluetooth. When you're pairing a device to the vehicle, start by coming to Menu, Setup, and Bluetooth. Then you can add a new device, remove an existing device that's no longer being used or might need a fresh connection, or customize the detailed Bluetooth settings. If you have multiple devices paired to the vehicle, you can set a preferred device. Just turn preferred device settings on and then review the list of phones that are paired and make sure that the preferred device is at the top in the number 1 spot. That means if you have multiple phones in the vehicle, it will always default to that phone as long as its Bluetooth is turned on. You can review your list of registered devices here. This also gives you a shortcut to add a device, customize the preferred settings, or remove an existing device. Pushing go back, coming to audio settings, common basic audio settings, radio customizations to manage those smart favorites that work with radio replay, customizing the number of pages that are visible for radio presets. If you don't have a lot of favorite radio stations, reduce the amount of screens that you have to scroll through. 6 stations, 1 page. Nice and easy. This system has the ability to play DVD audio, and under certain circumstances, DVD video. For video content to show on the screen, you must be in park with the emergency brake applied. Coming to phone settings, you can connect a phone through phone settings. You can customize sounds like the ringtone volume, incoming call, etc. Sound settings like ringtone volume, incoming call and text volume, all kinds of things that you can customize if you want to. Your notifications and how they display on the screen, contacts and call history, and text message customization. Coming to voice, you can adjust the volume of the onboard voice guidance. Keep in mind that navigation voice guidance is adjusted here, not on the main power and volume button or on the steering wheel. But don't forget, you can use that mute button right on your navigation screen. You can make additional voice customizations. Once you're familiar with the system and you practice using those shortcuts that I've taught you, you can leave this setting on low. I don't recommend that you turn it off because there are some times where it's very helpful for the system to take you through each next step in a process verbally rather than having to look at the screen. If you would like to do the train voice recognition, where you teach the system to be more aware of your accent or intonation, you'll want to do train voice recognition. If you'd like to learn more about the system, follow the voice recognition tutorials and go through the different items that are available. Voice prompt interrupt, this can be turned off or on. If you are somebody who frequently has other people in the car, it might be a good idea to turn this system off. When it's turned on, once you've activated voice command, the system is listening. So under most circumstances, if you begin to talk or if someone else in the vehicle begins to talk, it can interrupt and the system thinks that you're giving it a command. So you'll need to play with this and decide whether it works better for you to have it turned on or off. You can take the system back to the default settings right at the bottom of the screen. Select Vehicle for vehicle maintenance information, vehicle customization, door lock settings. That's where you can make changes to things like which doors unlock with the smart access system from the driver's door handle. For more information about vehicle customization, including climate settings and light settings, make sure to check out our Vehicle Customization mini-series playlist. Valet mode allows you to input a 4-digit code to lock your screen. This is like inputting a code on a hotel safe. You put the code in to lock and you put the code in to unlock. Scrolling to our next page, navigation. This is where you can customize your go home shortcut. Make sure to remember not to use your exact address. You can save favorites, block out areas to avoid. Under detailed Navi settings, there are a lot of customizations. One very popular item, if you scroll down, is to turn off the automatic freeway exit list. You'll have to see if you feel like this list is helpful to you or visually just kind of intrusive. If you feel like it gets in the way, then you're going to want to turn it off. What this does is give you a pop-up on the right side of the screen telling you about gas stations, restaurants, things like that that are available at an upcoming exit. You can also customize your map color. A lot of people like to come in and check out the color scheme that works best for them and then make that choice. Pushing go back. When you want to set up the Wi-Fi hotspot in your vehicle, come to Wi-Fi, click to turn the hotspot on, allow it to connect to the internet, Make sure to note that the IS is a Generation 11 system vehicle and it uses AT&T for the Wi-Fi hotspot. You do have a complimentary trial period for the Wi-Fi hotspot. After that, it is a paid service through AT&T. To learn more about setting up Wi-Fi on your Lexus, follow the instructions on our Wi-Fi tutorial video. Coming down to Enform App Suite, you can customize the data usage pop-up message and the auto detect for the iPhone app, and you can choose an enhanced mode if you're connecting your device to USB. Coming to traffic, there are some traffic customizations that you can make if you'd like to. The default settings are pretty darn great, so I would recommend just driving with the default information, and then if you really want to dive deep, you can come in and explore what turning those features off is like on your Lexus. Data services just allows the vehicle to use your HD signal as well as the DCM to pull data in for a stronger connection. And that's the end of our setup menu. If you need to remove the metal or mechanical key, locate where it says push on the side and push on the dot on the bottom left corner to open the hinge and release the metal key from the key fob. You can use this key to lock your glove compartment. If you have locked out the operation of the folding back seats and you would like to secure items in your trunk, make sure to open the glove compartment and push the trunk cancel button. This will disable the power trunk feature. Then you can use your mechanical key to lock your glove compartment. Take this key with you if you valet park. Only give the valet the key fob, not the mechanical key, because now they will not be able to access the trunk with the button on the key fob, the button inside the vehicle, or the button outside on the trunk lid. When you're ready to have access to your trunk, unlock your glove compartment, pop it open, and push the button in to restore power trunk operation. If you need to exit and lock the vehicle while the vehicle remains running, use your mechanical key. Place the vehicle in park. Take your key fob with you. Locate the key cylinder in the driver's door handle. With your mechanical key, turning to the left once will lock the vehicle, even with it running. One turn to the right will unlock driver's door only. A second turn to the right will unlock all 4 doors. If you have locked your vehicle while the vehicle is running, there are 2 tips to keep in mind. Tip number 1, beginning in 2020, all Lexus vehicles have an auto shut-off feature. The vehicle will only idle for 1 hour before it turns off automatically as a safety precaution. Number 2, when you want to re-enter the vehicle, the Smart Access key has been overridden by the manual key. And we're in. Well, thanks so much for visiting us here today at the Lexus Virtual Classroom here at Northside and Westside Lexus in Houston, Texas. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you can be notified the next time we release a tech tip video. Enjoy your Lexus, and don't forget to stop by the Lexus Virtual Classroom for all your Lexus tech tip needs. We'll see you next time.